Alright, 8th grade scholars. So today we're continuing our factoring work, but we're going to add in solving the equation by factoring. So we have to factor it for most of the problems and then actually solve once we're in factored form. So we're going to look at example 1 and 6, and I'll do those examples for us. So for example 1, this is when we're in factored form, but we have to solve for the zeros, right, or the variables. All right, so again, they're called zeros because they're the number that makes the equation equal to 0. So to find out what they are, all you have to do is write 3n minus 2 equals 0. And so you're taking each expression on its own and then solving for the variable. So for this first one, right, we can add 2 over here and we get 0, and it's just a basic two-step equation. Plus 2, 0 plus 2 is 2. So now we have 3n equals 2. And then this is a multiplication operation. The opposite of that is division. You can divide this side. So n equals 2 over 3. So that is one of our zeros, or also our roots, zeros, x-intercepts, or solutions. So let's try the second expression. So 4n plus 1 equals 0. We're getting n by itself. It's the same two-step equation. We subtract 1, so we're doing inverse operations. Subtract 1. So now we have 4n equals negative 1. Divide by 4. Divide by 4. So n equals negative 1/4. So in this situation, our two x-intercepts would be 2/3 and negative 1/4. So those are our solutions. So that's how we solve once we're in factored form. All right, so now we're going to try one just factoring. All right, so on this, we need the equation equal to 0 on this, equal to 0. So one thing we could do is bring all of these onto the other side of the equation. All right, so we could do add 18 and add 9n, and then we can just move them to the other side. So these both equal 0. And then we'll move them over side. So we'll add 18, we can add 9n. So your new equation would be n squared plus 9n plus 18. All right, so now we can go to our x factor method. So we have our a, our b, and our c. So a times c on top, 1 times 18, we get 18, 9 on bottom. So let's try figuring out our factors. All right, so we can draw our little t-chart here, 18 on top, and our sum equals 9. So we could go through each factor, start with 1, then 2, and eventually get to 3. So if we go to 3 times what equals 18? We get 6. 3 plus 6 equals 9. So those would be our factors. So now if we put this into factored form, it would be x plus 3 because it's a positive, and x plus 6 equals 0. And our next step would be to divide by a, but since a is 1 in this situation, we can just leave it just like this. All right, so now we're going to solve for this. So x plus 3 equals 0, and x, sorry, let me get a little weight on this, x plus 6 equals 0. So now we just solve for x. So we subtract 3, subtract 6, 0, and 0, and then do it to the other side. So negative 3 and negative 6. So your answer should be x equals negative 3 and x equals negative 6. And as you can see, it is the opposite of the factors, are your x-intercepts. All right, 8th grade, so if you need more help with factoring, actually the factoring part, you can look at my video from yesterday. Again, I will pan out so you can see all of the work. All right, and good luck, and let's work hard.